You're listening to the WBT Podcast with Michael Lodge. Listen to all of our podcasts at www.wbtpod.com. Stay informed. Let's get started.
And welcome to the WBT. This is Michael Lodge. I'm glad you have joined me once again. Our conversation today is going to be about making business decisions and funny business. I'll be right back.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518. Or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
Since 1984, I've been doing a lot of business consulting work. And I have consulted to shipping companies, container companies, cogeneration power plants, entertainment, real estate, construction, crane operations, and the list goes on. I think I've almost touched every facet of business through my years. I mean, that's a long time. From 1984 until now, it's a long time. But one of the things that always amazed me is how executives make their decisions. And I'm going to tell you about a funny business decision-making process that I had never heard of before. And by the way, it doesn't work. So don't even try it. So I had this mortgage company and as a client, and I was brought in to look at their financials, get them kind of cleaned up, and get audited financial statements out, working with a CPA firm, and trying to get them a warehouse line of credit so that they could do their own funding. But during the process, I also saw that they had an operational problem. They were trying a huge amount of newfangled ideas by all these gurus who are selling these programs. Hey, come to me and I'll teach you how to make more money. That's why I've seen it throughout the years. And I've seen all these companies that are out there trying to get you to buy their systems. And most of the time it doesn't even work after you spent thousands and thousands of dollars on it. Anyway, so they had this mortgage company that just was during the heart of the mortgage season of the years. Other mortgage companies were making millions of dollars. This mortgage company was losing. So one day I was at their office and they said, hey, we're going to have an executive meeting here. I want to bring you into it because we want to hear your input. So they brought me into this room and then they turned the lights out in the room. I should have walked at that time, but I didn't. I stayed because I was intrigued, you know. So they said, everybody close their eyes. And when you close your eyes, look at the various colors. Look at what you see as a picture inside your mind. Because as you look at that, I want you to tell us when we're done, after we open our eyes, you're going to tell us what you see for this company. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, these guys are smoking something. They came from Hawaii. I'm pretty sure they're smoking something. So everybody closed their eyes. There were like 7 of us in the room. I was the last one to go, thank God. So everybody closed their eyes and then they began to speak. I see a bright color blue. It's shining off the ocean. And the waves are rolling in, and I think that represents cash rolling into us. And they went on and on and on until finally I was saying to myself, when they come to me, I'm just going to tell them what they need to do to get this company back up and running and start making some deals here, because they're not closing any money. They've got $3 million of warehouse line that they could be turning over on a weekly basis, and they're not doing it. Instead, they wanted to stand up. They wanted to yell and shout and dance all around and listen to Who Let the Dogs Out and all this stupidity without even focusing on what they needed to do to bring in business. So they went off into this dream state. The lights were still out. So finally, it came to me. And so I came up with a doozy of a story. It was a big time story. I made this thing up on the spot, but what it told them to do in my storytelling mechanism that I went into with my eyes shut in the darkness of the room. I told them, listen, you have got to get more organized. You have got to be bringing in better loans. Look at other things besides just a paper, but go out there and look at some other loans that are available to you. Bring in experienced loan officers and realtors instead of the janitor that used to work for you, and become more focused on driving the numbers up instead of downward, because you've got to bring clients in here. You've got to take time to develop relationships with all these realtors that are out there, with all these individuals that are out there. Do some seminars, do whatever you need to do to get your name out there. But in my last words to them, which I don't think they liked, I said, you know what? We have just spent a whole hour wasting our time in the dark. And your company is still in the dark unless you follow what I say, because you are not dreaming up any new, you're dreaming up nonsense, and what you need to be doing is focused on real business tactics. This is not how you make business decisions, by turning the lights off and going into a dreamscape. Worthless whatsoever. When you're going to make decisions for your company, the first thing you need to do is know all the facts regarding your company. Gather all of the facts and necessary information that impacts your business. This is so important because you do not want to miss critical information that would make a difference in how you run your business. Also, by being part of the information gathering process, you can eliminate biases or opinions others may have. At this point in time, I had a bias on this company that they were not following good business practices. The finances were screwed up. They didn't know where they stood financially. Their commission structure was so far outlined that no one wanted to work for them. And plus, no one wanted to work standing up 8 hours a day. And no one was getting trained on mortgages. And none of the vendors from all of the banks were coming into the office and explaining their mortgage lines. Instead, they closed the door, turned out the lights, and had a dreamscape. Understanding how your competition is doing business is very important. They didn't even look at the competition. They were so engrossed in all of this newfangled nonsense that they forgot to look to see what the competition was doing. Finding ways to improve customer satisfaction is another example of knowing the facts of your company. A business owner can take all his time and he can talk to their employees and customers to get the necessary information regarding certain business operations. You have to do that. You need to be talking to your customers. You need to be talking to your employees. You don't turn the lights off. Otherwise, you're turning the lights off of your business. And by the way, that business finally turned the lights off several years later. They just couldn't take it any longer. Secondly, you need to focus on the results of the company. Think about what you want and consider the possible outcomes of your decision. A person needs to focus on the short-term and long-term goals regarding each aspect of their company. That's why I always say to people, sit down and set your goals. You're going to tweak it month to month because things happen, but you need to have a plan of action. You need to have goals. And then you need to ask around. It is important to consider other viewpoints other than your own, so get advice from your friends and business peers. Go to other places and talk to other people who are in the same industry that you are in. For example, a good technique is to talk to your important business colleagues and managers to get their opinion on how to manage your business. For instance, you have to make a decision which client should manage your marketing campaigns. Think about it. Ask your business advisors and other managers on what they think who should be the best fit in managing your campaigns. In addition, a business person can join a local business support group like Chamber of Commerce or whatever systems are out there in your communities and get their advice. Talk to these people. The more communication that you have with people in business, the better that you will have answers to your situations. And then you need to relax. Do not try to do everything all at once, and when things get hectic, stop what you're doing. Take a 10-minute break. Take a few deep breaths and try to do something that will make you feel more related, or more relaxed, More relaxed, such as taking a 10-minute walk, listening to the radio, or doing some stretching exercises to help de-stress yourself. Relax. Stress is not going to come up with an answer. Relax. Refocus your mind. And then you have to stay on course. You know, when you're making decisions on your business, you're managing your own business involves a series of ongoing business decisions. It happens every single day, every single week, every single month, every single quarter, yearly. Don't put off important decisions. Don't put off important decisions. And don't worry about your past mistakes. Just keep focusing on what is best for your company. To determine the best outcome of your business, always listen to your customer needs and have your finances and expenses organized. Customer satisfaction and making sure your company doesn't run out of money are some of the important priorities of all businesses, of any business. If your business is going in the wrong direction, then you need to reevaluate how you run your business. That's why you need to know the financial story of your company on a monthly basis, and you need to sit down with somebody who can go over it with you. Somebody that's sitting out there, a business coach who can come in once a month and reevaluate what needs to happen. Everybody says this. You have to learn from your past mistakes, and you have to reevaluate. If you make an incorrect business decision, then the next step is to learn how to learn from the mistakes that you've made and then go on from there. Learn what you did right and learn what you did wrong. Let me say it again. Learn what you did right and learn what you did wrong. Learn from it. But you don't sit in a room and close the doors and do a dreamscape, because it is a waste of time. You've turned out the lights of your company and you haven't even been willing to look at your company as a whole. What you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, and correct the things that you're doing wrong. Find out a way to turn a wrong into a right. As I've told you, I have probably dealt with every single scenario that's been out there. Since 1984. Can you believe it? 1984. Some of you probably were not even born by that time. Some of you were probably just getting out of school. Some of you were just getting married or starting your own company. But from 1984, I have seen, I have heard, I have felt, I have tasted everything that has been done wrong and everything that has been done right. And guess what? It's still going on today. It never ends. When I sit down with a client, as in a good example, I sat down with a client 2 days ago. They are wanting me to look at where they stand financially. They want to know whether or not if they should increase their credit lines. Well, the first error in the whole scenario is, why haven't they taken care of their financial reporting? Because that tells you on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, monthly, quarterly, how well you're doing. That is the story of your company. That's why I encourage every single one of you, know your financial story so that you can make good decisions on various product lines and everything else that you may be selling. One might be down, one might be up. Why? Look at the reasons why. Remember what, why, when, and where. Who? Those are the questions that you need to be asking every single day. Just like a reporter does. Well, maybe not anymore. The media has kind of gone off the side of the road. But we need to be asking questions every single day. And sit down with somebody like myself, a business coach, a business consultant. I don't have to be full-time. They don't have to be full-time. Bring them in once a month just to give you a third party, another person's eyes on your company. But you have to learn how to make business decisions. If I hear of one of you, just one of you, turning off the light and doing the dreamscape, you're going to be out of business. Just call me and I'll help you pack. This is Mike Lodge for the WBT. If you have any questions, send me a text at 818-252-5682. Again, that's 818-252-5682. And let's get it going. If you have any questions, send it to me. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And I will answer any question. I'm not shy. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
This podcast is produced by Michael Lodge, fully focused on content.